man walks into a bar. Simple, right? Just an ordinary start to an ordinary evening. But wait, this is not an ordinary story. Something unusual is about to happen, and it is up to you to figure it out. This, my friends, is a bar riddle story. And before the end, you will have to guess the reason behind one strange action that changed everything. So, are you ready? Let's begin. The bar is dimly lit, filled with the low hum of chatter. Glasses clink. Laughter bursts from a corner table. A jukebox plays a tune in the background. Now, picture the door opening. A man walks in. He looks nervous. Not drunk. Not cheerful. Not even tired. Just tense. He heads straight to the counter. The bartender, a tall man with years of experience, notices something off. But he says nothing, at least. Not yet. The man takes a seat, leans forward, and orders a glass of water. Strange, isn't it? He's in a bar, surrounded by drinks of every kind, and all he wants is water. The bartender narrows his eyes. He studies the man carefully. Then, slowly, he reaches under the counter. At this point, pause for a moment. Why would a bartender react this way? Why water? Why tension? What do you think? Take a guess right now. Is the man broke and can't afford anything else? Is he hiding something? Or maybe this is some kind of secret code between him and the bartender. Think for a second. Hold on to your answer, because what happens next will make you question everything. The bartender sets the glass of water on the counter. The man doesn't drink it. Instead, he grips the glass tightly, staring at it as if it holds a secret. The bartender leans closer and suddenly says, "Are you sure about this?" Wait, sure about what? Why is the bartender asking such a strange question over a simple glass of water? The man nods. His lips tremble, and then the bartender does something completely unexpected. He reaches behind him, grabs a gun, and points it straight at the man. Everyone in the bar freezes. Glasses stop midair. Conversations die. The jukebox plays on, but no one hears it anymore. The man doesn't scream. He doesn't run. He simply sits there, silent, staring at the gun, then at the bartender, and then something shocking happens. The bartender pulls the trigger, but no bullet comes out. Instead, a loud click echoes across the room. The man flinches. Then, he breathes deeply. Finally, he smiles. Okay, let's stop here. What on earth is going on? Why would a man walk into a bar, ask for water, and then allow a bartender to pull a gun on him? This is the heart of the riddle. Think carefully. What could possibly connect all these actions? Don't worry, I'll give you some hints. People usually go to bars for alcohol, fun, or maybe to escape stress. But this man asked for water. That is your first big clue. Why water? Because water has something to do with the problem he was facing. The bartender wasn't shocked. He didn't call the police. He didn't panic. Instead, he knew exactly what to do. Why? Because he had seen this situation before. This tells us the man's problem was something common in bars, or at least something the bartender recognized immediately. The gun wasn't meant to harm him. It was meant to help him. But how can pointing a gun help someone? Think. This isn't about violence. This is about psychology, about how the human body reacts under sudden shock. Let's put the pieces together. A man enters a bar, nervous. He orders water, but doesn't drink it. The bartender reacts strangely, but with confidence. He uses a gun, not to kill, but to scare. The man breathes deeply afterward, relieved. Do you see it now? Here's the truth. The man had hiccups. Yes, just hiccups. That's why he ordered water. He wanted to stop them. But the bartender, an experienced man, knew that sometimes hiccups need more than just a sip of water. They need a shock, a sudden scare to reset the breathing reflex. So, instead of handing over more water, the bartender pulled out a gun, pointed it, and scared the man half to death. The hiccups disappeared instantly. Crazy, right? From the outside, it looked like a tense standoff in a bar. But in reality, it was just a clever way to cure hiccups. Now, let me ask you, did you guess it correctly before I revealed it? Or did you go for one of the trick answers? This is why this classic bar riddle story is so loved. It plays with your mind, leading you one way, then turning everything upside down. Let's take a moment to understand why this works. Hiccups are caused by sudden, involuntary contractions of the diaphragm. Sometimes water helps, sometimes holding your breath works, but often, a sudden shock is the fastest cure. The bartender knew this. He gave the man exactly what he needed. Not water, not advice, but a jolt of fear. And it worked. Think about it, life is often like this riddle. Sometimes, the problems we face seem complicated, heavy, even dangerous. But often, the solution is surprisingly simple. It just takes the right perspective. And sometimes, the right kind of shock. Now here's the real twist for you. If you enjoyed solving this mystery, just imagine the riddles that are waiting around the corner. Each one stranger, trickier, and more fun than the last. So stick with us, because the next story might be even harder to crack. And who knows, the answer might surprise you even more. So there you have it. A man walks into a bar, orders water, faces a gun. All because of hiccups. That's the magic of a good bar riddle story. Simple words, everyday setting, but a twist that turns the ordinary into something unforgettable. Now, are you ready for the next puzzle?